Hey everybody, it's Mr. Wilson, and I'm here today to talk to you about the 8 shots. Whether we're looking at a shot on screen or whether we're composing one ourselves, we can always refer to any shot on screen as one of the 8 shots. Let's take a look at a few examples. This is an extreme close-up. An extreme close-up is where the face fills the frame and is often used for extreme emotions. The next shot is a regular close-up, where the entire head and a little bit of the shoulders is shown. This is also a fairly emotional shot, so it is reserved for more emotional lines of dialogue. A medium close-up has the frame at the very bottom of the chest. This is a much more neutral shot, so it's the most commonly used shot in a simple scene of dialogue. A medium shot is when the bottom of the frame is right at the mid-belly. We use this if we want to show a little bit more area around the person we're shooting. A waist shot is when the bottom of the frame is right at the waist. This is a 2-shot waist shot, which is a perfect establishing shot for a simple scene between two people having a conversation. This is a knee shot, from the knee up. A full-length shot is when the person is shown from head to toe, but the top of the head is at the top of the frame and the feet are at the bottom of the frame. And anything further than that is called a long shot. A long shot is typically used as an establishing shot to show where we are in a scene. So this is a long shot, but so is this. Obviously much longer. Now we're going to practice drawing each of these 8 shots, from extreme close-up to long shot. In order to draw the extreme close-up, the first shot we're going to start with, the face fills the frame. So I'm going to draw little half circles along the side of the frame like this, and that will be someone's face. Now you'll usually, an extreme close-up will cut off that part of the head and the chin. If you're going to cut off part of the head, you should definitely start cutting off the head more than the chin. But if you can cut off some of the chin as long as you're also cutting off some of the head. So then, some eyes. You want to make the perspective right. So the eyes and the nose and the mouth should be in the right perspective. And if it's an extreme close-up, oftentimes it will be extreme emotion. So maybe we'll look like this, make it look like this person is frightened. So that's how to draw your basic ECU, which is an extreme close-up. Okay, next we're going to draw a close-up. And whenever we draw anything except the long shot, we always need to think about headroom. So I always start at the very top of the frame. So I start with the head at the very top, and the head's got to be pretty big because we're going to be close. So the head's got to be pretty big like this. And then you're just going to have a little bit of neck and shoulders because that's what a close-up is. The whole head and a little bit of the shoulders. That's a close-up. Okay? So give them some pupils, eyebrows. If you want to give them some hair, you can. The important thing about these pictures is not that they're beautiful, because mine aren't very nice looking. The important thing is that it's got to show the right perspective. And so a close-up is really close, but not as close as the extreme close-up, right? We're close, but we can see some shoulders too. Okay, now I'm going to label this as CU, capital C, capital U, which stands for close-up. I'm going to put both the abbreviation and the full name of the shot on each of my shots. Now the third shot is going to be a medium close-up. And this is the most common shot for our productions. I'm going to draw all of my example shots as frontal shots, meaning they're facing the camera. So this isn't exactly how we're normally going to draw our medium close-ups. But I'm going to have this person facing the camera. The head isn't going to be quite as big as this because the medium close-up is medium close-up, not as close-up. So it's going to be a little bit smaller. But again, I'm going to start at the very top and make a pretty big head, maybe not quite as big as a close-up head. Because for a medium close-up, I'm going to have a little bit of neck, shoulder, neck, shoulder. And I'm also going to want to make sure that I get some armpit in there as well, because a medium close-up is right below the chest. So we're going to see some armpit, but not too much. Then the eyes, nose, mouth. Make this guy happy. He'll have curly hair. Again, It doesn't need to look beautiful. Mine doesn't look beautiful, but the perspective is right. This would be an MCU, or full name, medium close-up. Okay, so I want to have the full name and the abbreviation underneath all my shots for my 8 shots sheet. Okay, now my fourth one I'm going to draw is the next shot. We get a little bit further away, we're moving progressively back. We've got the extreme close-up, that's as close as we're usually going to get. Then we've got a regular close-up, that's pretty close. In fact, normally closer than we normally want to get for normal lines of dialogue. Normal lines of dialogue, we're going to be at a medium close-up. Then one step further back than that is going to be a medium shot. And this is how we draw the medium shot. Again, head at the very top, not quite as big as the medium close-up, a little bit smaller, like that. We're going to have some neck, shoulder, and more of an arm type thing going on with the medium shot, because give this person their eyes, nose, mouth, hair. Let's give this guy spiky hair. We'll see the medium shot is right about mid-belly. We've got more than just a little bit of armpit, we've got some arm showing, but not the end of his hands. This is a medium shot, and the abbreviation is going to be MS, capital M, capital S. And the abbreviation is, the full name is medium shot, so we're going to put that underneath, MS, medium shot. Okay, then the next step further back is a waist shot from the waist up. Now notice this guy, we can't see his waist, we're a little bit closer than that. So this one we're going to have to be a little bit further back, and the head's going to be getting progressively smaller. So again, start the very top. If I start down here and draw, that's going to be too much headroom. We never want too much headroom, so I'm going to have to erase and start over. It's okay if we make mistakes, because we're using pencil, and we're always going to erase and start over. As a matter of fact, one of the things I suggest is to draw lightly, because if we draw really dark, it's going to be hard to erase. But if the first time we draw really lightly and go like this, we might think, oh, that looks good, but then, you know what, that head's way too small. That's going to be much longer than a waist shot. So I've drawn really lightly, no problem. I can just go ahead and erase, and I can barely see that drawing. Even if you did write dark, you're going to erase and do it again, because I don't want to waste all this paper. Okay, so I know my head's going to be bigger than that, so I'll see if like this looks good. That looks about right. This is probably going to be a pretty good waist shot. The person looking off to the side a little bit. And this person can have long hair. Okay. Put a shirt on them. So that's about their waist. So that would be a waist shot. Okay, the abbreviation WS, W-I-A-I-S-T. We want to make sure we spell it right, because there's a homophone for waist, and that's not the kind of waist we want. We want this kind of waist that means right at the human body waist. Okay, so from the waist up and the head's at the very top of the screen. That's how you draw a waist shot. Then the next shot is going to be called a knee shot. We're going to have it from the knees up, but I don't want to start here at the knees. I always want to start with the head at the very top. And let's see, that head size is going to need to get a little smaller for my knee shot, so I'm going to draw that head a little bit smaller. I'm going to draw him off to the side maybe, like this. And again, we're going to see this person's hands, so I don't know about you, but I'm not a very good artist, so my hands are going to look pretty horrible. That's okay. If you're not a good artist, neither am I. But we just want to make sure the perspective is right. So my hands are always really horrible. So that's kind of what I do for fingers. And then, okay, so let's say there is their waist and legs. So we see that's about at the knee. Knee shot. And this person's looking that way. Notice how I drew this person off to the side this time, because one thing we want to think about is nose room. Not only headroom, but when we compose shots, we want to think about nose room. And if someone's looking a certain way, or especially moving a certain way, we want more room in front of them than behind them. Okay, that's called nose room, or looking space, moving space. There's lots of different phrases that different people use. I use nose room to make it easy. We got headroom, we got nose room. Headroom is always very slight. We want a very small amount of headroom, but we always want more nose room than room behind. Okay, so those are the first 6 shots. The next shot, which is a full-length shot. Now, a full-length shot is a step further back than a knee shot. So we're going to have an even smaller head to get that whole body in. And again, if you're not a great artist like me, you might be doing a lot of erasing, because it's hard for me to draw, but it doesn't have to look pretty, just needs to be the right perspective. Okay, so here's this guy's hands. Again, hands are the bane to my existence. And so, again, it's not the prettiest picture in the world. I'm not the best artist. If you're a good artist, then go ahead, and if you want to take the time and draw a really nice picture, that would be great. But as long as I have the perspective right, his head is about the right size for his body, his arms and legs about the right size. I mean, the perspective isn't actually that great here because I'm such a poor artist, but the general specifics of this are good. The head is at the very top of the frame, and the feet are at the very bottom of the frame. That's what makes this a full-length shot. So I'm going to go ahead and label it FLS, which is what we would label it on our scripts and storyboards, but I'm also going to write down the full name of the shot because I need to know that. So that's our full-length shot. Now, one step away from a full-length shot is a long shot. Now, one important thing about a long shot is anything further away than a full-length shot, where the head's at the top and the feet are at the bottom, we're going to call a long shot. So if a person is this big, this teeny little guy, way out in the middle of nowhere, that would be called a long shot. But I'm not going to draw it that long. We're going to make it a little bit closer than that far away. So I'm going to draw a long shot where, let's see, the person maybe can be, let's see, maybe about like this. Whoa. Again, I'm not the best artist, but this gives us an idea of we're far away, we're seeing this person, he's not that big in the shot, and we're seeing this store, which is good for an establishing shot. If we want to make sure we see this store and the person and he's far away, that's kind of a way to convey to the DP what kind of shot we want. So if I went to my DP and I said, okay, look at my storyboard, this is, you know, not the best picture, but this is the kind of shot I want, this person walking up to the store. That's going to give my DP a pretty good idea of what kind of shot he's going to want to get. And we call this a long shot. LS is how we would abbreviate it, and it's called a long shot. So everyone's going to write the abbreviation, and that's all caps, and then the name. So long shot, and this person could be a little bit smaller, a lot smaller. This person could also be a little bit bigger, as long as it wasn't like this. If his head's at the top and his feet are at the bottom, it's a full-length shot. Any further away, and it's going to be a long shot. Okay, now if it was a picture of just the world, the globe, that's a long shot. That's about the longest you can get, right? That picture of the Earth from outer space, that's a real long shot, but still, that's a long shot, and so is this. Okay, those are the 8 shots. Now we have 4 more frames to fill up. So what are we going to do with those? Well, there are only 8 shots, and they are these. All these shots are the 8 shots, from extreme close-up to medium close-up, heads at the top, just below the chest. Then we've got medium shot, right about mid-belly. Waist shot, head at the top, waist is at the bottom. Knee shot, heads at the top, knees are at the bottom. Then full-length shot, long shot. Those are the 8 shots, and those are the only shots there are. Whenever we write a script or draw a storyboard, we're always going to use those 8 shots. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw some examples here, but the very first thing I'm going to draw is an example of an insert shot. Now, some of you might think, well, Mr. Wilson, an insert shot, you said there were only 8 shots, from extreme close-up to long shot, and insert shot wasn't one of them. That's right. Because an insert shot, we're always going to label as one of the 8 shots. Is an insert shot a long shot? No. If you know what an insert shot is, we're going to label it as either a close-up or an extreme close-up. So I'm going to have an insert shot of a piece of paper that a student is holding. This is kind of a common one. So here's this person's hand. They're holding a paper, and we can't see the student, we just see the hand. And the student is saying, "Oh no, I got an F- on my paper." And we see that piece of paper with the hand. And again, see, I'm not the best artist, but we get the idea of what this looks like. This is an insert shot, but we're never just going to say insert shot on a script and storyboard, right? Always one of the 8 shots. So what should we label this? We'll say close-up of the hand. And if we want on our script and storyboard, we could also say close-up, insert, if we wanted to, make it clear, insert shot of hand holding paper. Okay, but we're always going to label it as either a close-up, or we could also call this an extreme close-up if you wanted. It's an extreme close-up of the hand. But so in this frame, I'm going to have everybody draw an insert shot of something. It could be an object, something that we see real big on screen, or it could be a hand holding something. And if you want, you could just have it be a hand holding a paper with an F-, or it could be an A+, or a different grade, or if you want, it could be a hand holding a flyer. We see that on Wake Up Tacoma. Here's a flyer for the Multimedia Club, and so you could have it be that. You could just copy this exactly, or if you want to have it be an insert shot of something that you think of yourself, you can. Okay, but that's what this is going to be, an insert shot. We have 3 more frames, and this is what I want you to do. For this frame, this is going to be a medium close-up, but it's going to be a medium close-up profile. How do you draw a medium close-up profile? This is the most important one, because we're going to be drawing medium close-up profiles all over the place. All over the place. In fact, we're going to draw 2 here. So, we're going to start with the head, and we're going to not draw it in the middle, but over to the side, because if it's a profile, we want more nose room, more room to one side. So I'm going to draw that head, and remember, it's got to be pretty big, because a medium close-up is pretty close. So it's going to look at how big that is. It's definitely bigger than half the frame, right? A little bit of neck and shoulders, a little bit of neck and shoulders, and then remember what defines basically a medium close-up is a little bit of armpit, right? So that looks about right, that perspective. And then we're going to take the facial features, and we're not going to draw them like this. If we draw them like this, that person's looking straight ahead, and that's a frontal shot, and it's not a profile. We want it from the side. So how do we draw that? Erase my facial features and draw them over to the side. We've got more room this way, so we don't want the person looking this way, we want the person looking this way. So I'm going to draw all the facial features over to this side. So this is a good medium close-up profile shot, because the 4 things we need to think about are all here. Good headroom, which means not too much room between the head and the top of the frame. Sometimes it's even cut off. Good nose room, which means more space in front of the person, the way the person's looking, depending on which way the person's facing. Seeing both of the eyes, and having the frame right below the armpit, right below the chest. That's where a medium close-up should be. We're not going to need to write profile though, because it's a medium close-up. We can see it's a profile shot, we don't need to write that. Alright, the next one is going to be a medium close-up the other way, but it's going to also be an over-the-shoulder shot. So we're going to have the person facing the other way. And now, to make it an over-the-shoulder shot, I need to draw someone's head, the back of someone's head, and the back of their shoulders. And so since it's just the back of the head, it's just going to be hair. There. So that's a medium close-up over the shoulder shot. And whichever way you had this guy facing, I want you to draw this one facing the opposite way. And I want it to be over the shoulder. And then my last shot is going to be one of the most common establishing shots that we see in student productions, which is a 2-shot waist shot. Because we always want to be as close as we possibly can while still showing everything that an establishing shot needs to show, which is where we are, who's there, what they're doing, etc. So, this looks like it's going to be a little bit longer than, so I'm going to start over. bit bigger. Like that. A two-shot waist shot, and again I can label it as a two-shot waist shot, but I don't have to. For this I will, and I will say 2S WS, the numeral 2, not the letter T, and I'll label it two-shot waist shot. Okay, so that's a good two-shot waist shot. Heads are right at the top, the waist is about at the bottom. They're facing each other. Okay, so we can go ahead and review this whole thing. This is what your sheet should look like more or less when you're done. We've got the extreme close-up with the face filling the frame, and it's going to be labeled ECU extreme close-up. We're going to have both the abbreviation and the full name. The next one is going to be the close-up, the full head, and just a little bit of the shoulders, CU close-up. The next one is going to be a medium close-up, and that's the head at the very top of the frame, and then just below the armpit for the medium close-up. The next one is going to be a medium shot, which is right below, mid-belly. So we're going to see more than just armpit, we're going to see a bunch of arm, but always heads at the top. The next one's going to be a waist shot, so we're going to have the waist at the bottom, head at the top. And then the next one's going to be a knee shot, knee at the bottom, head at the top. These 6 shots are always going to be with heads at the very top of the frame. So we're always going to put heads at the top of the frame for all of these types of shots. Top of the frame, top of the head, top of the head, top of the frame. Always remember that. And so on the back of the sheet, it's going to look like this. You're going to have a full-length shot, head, top of the head at the very top, and then the bottom is going to be with the feet. A long shot's anything further back than a long shot. So here's a good long shot. Yours can look a little bit different, however you want to have it. We're going to have an insert shot, but you're going to label it as a CU, because we're always going to label the CU as an insert shot as a close-up or an extreme close-up. So there's a piece of paper, a hand holding a piece of paper, that's my insert shot, and you can do that exact one if you want. Then down here we're going to have a medium close-up profile shot. We're not going to label it as a profile, but we're going to make sure we've got good headroom, good nose room, see both eyes, bottom of the frame right below the armpit. The next one is going to be another medium close-up profile facing the other way of the one you had this one, and it's also going to be an over-the-shoulder shot, so we're going to see the back of someone's head and shoulder. And then the last one is going to be a two-shot waist shot, because that's going to be a very common establishing shot for many different scenes, because we don't want to get too far away, and if it's just 2 people having a conversation, you probably want to have a two-shot waist shot. So those are all the 12 shots that we're going to draw. Those are the 8 shots from extreme close-up to long shot. Then an insert shot isn't one of the 8 shots. We're always going to label it as a close-up or extreme close-up. And these are profile shots, but they're medium close-up profiles, so we always label them as medium close-ups. And this is a 2-shot. It could be an establishing shot, but which of the 8 shots is it? It's a waist shot, so we're always going to label it as a WS. Okay, so that's what your shot sheet should look like. Make sure your drawings are good. Make sure you're drawing in pencil, and all of your shots are labeled with the abbreviation and the full name of the shot, and turn that in for complete credit.